do think that finding that out for yourself, because that's different for everybody, is really critical to do. And really understanding what those skills are for yourself, because then we can figure out, okay, we can match jobs and we can match pathways to a career as long as we know what you're good at. But it's incredibly frustrating for someone to work and try to work in an industry that really doesn't match up with their skills. Sometimes it's good to spend some time at like a community college where, you know, the tuition is a little bit lower here in the US for that, and figure some things out about yourself. And so when you're giving your time to that pursuit, you're not giving your time to other things. And so you have to decide you want that trade-off. So I think for a barrier could be also if you're having to work in order to live and you can't quite pay for the college, that's a lot of times people get stuck in that cycle. They never go then because of those two barriers. So I think those are two big ones.
Hi everyone, I'll be your host for today, and I go by Philant, and I have a special guest called Heather. And you know, Heather, I'm so grateful for accepting the invite, since I told you that, hey Heather, we are trying to set off or kick off, you know, a cooking channel with the motive of inspiring students. I'm just so excited you accepted it, and I can't wait to see how things will be for today.
Well, we're going to make something really good.
Absolutely.
That's something that's near and dear to my heart that I enjoy making. So great. I appreciate the opportunity to be the inaugural chef on your channel.
Thank you. So what are we going to cook for today, and what do you think this food means to you?
Sure. So we're making something called hummus, which is a dip that's made primarily from chickpeas. It's from the Middle East. I did not grow up with this dish. I actually didn't have it till I was about 20 years old and I was in college. And I fell in love with it. I had it at a restaurant and I just thought, wow, I've never had this in my life. What is it? How do I make it? And my cooking in my life has been a lot about like, oh, I like that. What is it? How can I make it? And so my hummus recipe that I'm sharing today is really one that is tried and true for me over the last probably 25 years. It's what I make at home, but there's a lot of different varieties out there, but this happens to be the one that I make.
I can't wait to get started.
All right, so the first thing, there's a couple prep items that I like to do, and then we really get into making the actual hummus. So those first two prep items are, we're gonna squeeze some lemon, and we got fresh lemon here. Okay. And then we're going to also whip up the aquafaba, or the water that comes out of these chickpeas. So that'll be our first two things that we're gonna do. Okay. All right?
All right.
So I'm gonna...
Like, I don't know what is going on. I'm just your Uber driver.
All right, so...
I'm just the eater, guys.
Do you want to squeeze the lemon?
Yeah, I can.
All right, so, yeah. I like to squeeze lemon, if I have a strainer like this, into the strainer, into something like a cup like this, because then I don't have to worry about the seeds. But it wouldn't have to do it this way, but it just makes it a lot easier to then make sure that the seeds are out of there. So, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze a little bit more into that one. We don't need a lot of lemon, but it's nice to have a little bit of flavor. Yeah. That should be good. Yeah, that should be good. You got an extra one here for later for something else. Yeah. All right, and then I'm gonna pop the seeds out of there because we'll use this. Yeah. All right, and then the other thing we're gonna do is, we got the lemon ready for later. Now we're going to make sure we got this chickpeas strained out, and the water that these chickpeas have been sitting in, that we're gonna whip up, almost like if you whip cream and to make like a stiff peaks for whipping cream, right? Then it's might look a lot like that. And that's what's called aquafaba. And that's what makes the hummus really smooth instead of grainy and like chopped up, right?
It was like when you told me that you'd be preparing this food, the hummus.
Yeah.
So I started, watching like TikTok videos or maybe YouTube videos about it.
That's great.
Because I was like, oh my gosh, what is good? I literally don't know what it is about,
Sure.
So I was like, and I felt it was so cool. I mean, I can't wait to to get the end product of it.
Yes, that's the best part, right? So I've strained out so you can see like the ratio, right? And you can, we're gonna make 2 cans of chickpeas, but I'd like to always do one first and see like how much it really whips up, right? So I'm just gonna set these aside right now. And then you've got this hand mixer here, which is great. And you can use a blender or a food processor or like beaters,
How does it taste like? Can I?
You can try it, yeah. It's like bean water. There's not much flavor to it,
It's
right?
like, yeah.
Yeah. So we gotta doctor it up. We're gonna put all the cayenne pepper and the cumin and everything else in there. So I'm gonna put this in here, like that. And so what I want is to just make sure it gets whipped up. Like really, you see how it's very liquidy right now?
Right.
We want it to be a lot thicker than that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this. I'll stop for a second. So you see how it's getting really frothy?
Right.
So the whipping is adding air to it, right? So that's what's making it, not grainy.
Right.
So we're gonna keep going a little bit longer because it's still kind of thin. Ooh, that's gonna start.
To do this one?
What's that?
Like with the mixing, how many seconds or minutes?
Well, usually at home it's about 3 minutes,
In total?
to get on about 1 can, to the thickness. You can see how it's already getting a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
So we have whipped that liquid that came out of the can, and this is our aquafaba. So it's nice and thick to make it smooth.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and take the end of this off for now. So we'll kind of set this aside. And then next, we get to use more tools. And we're going to put the chickpeas in here and start to make the base of the hummus.
Gotcha.
Okay? So I might do this first one if you want. And then if you would open the second one, and then we'll see how much we can get in here.
Okay. So are you kind of going to blend it?
Then we're gonna blend this, yeah, yep. That one will need to be strained as well, but we don't need to keep the liquid, but you're gonna wanna strain it probably over the sink.
Gotcha.
And then get that strained out, and then we can add that in as well.
Now go ahead and strain it. And that's about it, right?
Yeah, that's great. And then add it in to the rest of these chickpeas, and then we have both cans in there. You got it. It just fits. 2 cans is just right for this.
So that should be perfect, right?
Yes, that's great. Okay, so to start with, we'll just grind up the chickpeas as our start point, and then we'll add in all of the other components, the other ingredients.
It's cool.
Okay, so
I'm so hungry, so I can't wait. Oh.
it's gonna be good stuff. All right, so I think we're gonna do that, and then this one we'll just keep this on here. Okay, let's take a look. So we've put them through the food processor. There's still kind of some chunks in there. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of scoop that down.
Is it supposed to be like super soft?
It should be, yeah, no
Nice.
large chunks like that. Yeah, yeah. I'll do it one more time, and then we'll start adding some other things into it. Okay. So now, let's go ahead and add, if you want to put in a little bit of that lemon juice, maybe half of that amount.
Into
Just put it
this?
right in there. Yep, right in. Just
Just
like
a
half.
little bit, right?
Yep, half of that, just to start with, because it's a little bit by taste, so that's good.
That's
Yep.
it?
Start with that, yeah. And then I'm gonna pour a little bit of this aquafaba in there, and we'll just kind of add, because every version each time, you know, it can be a little bit different. But the liquid does help with the mixing process inside there. So once you get it kind of chopped up, it's good to add that in.
Gotcha.
So, all right, so then let's add.
So just a little bit of this one.
First to start with, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Gotcha.
The other thing to add towards the beginning here like this is the garlic. Okay, so do you want to put in just a little bit, like 2 tablespoons?
Like this?
Yeah, there you go. That's a pretty big one. We might just put that in there and we'll see how it is. Yeah, that's
And
great.
Maybe I like a little bit.
If you like a little bit, if you like garlic, yeah, put in a little bit more.
Is it about
That's fine. Yeah, that's great. Okay, here's the lid for that.
Now I'm the chef. Huh?
Now you're the chef. All right, so now we'll try mixing what we have in there now. All right, do you want to do this one? Mix it up. Just hold that lid down. Yeah, there you go.
Want me to open it and see? Oh.
Yeah, so go ahead and stop. So, yeah, so take that off. So I think we'll just need to use the spoon to kind of, it's getting the bottom half. It's pretty full.
Gotcha.
I think that's what's going on. And so I'll just kind of move it around a little bit. We got to get from the stuff that's at the bottom to the top a little bit.
Okay. And it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm just liking the flavor and the aroma.
You can already smell it, right?
It
Yeah.
smells so good. Do you put salt in it or not?
We will, yeah. We'll salt it, yeah. Seasoning we'll probably want to do once we kind of get this
Right.
figured out here with the texture. So I'm going to add a little bit more of the aquafaba.
Okay.
And then at this point, now that we've done a few rounds, I'm going to add tahini. And tahini is like a sesame seed puree, like all chopped up, right? And so this one is it's got a squeeze bottle, so we can just squeeze some tahini in.
So
Usually about quarter
what
cup.
amount? Okay, quarter cup.
Quarter cup, yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. Okay, now let's try that. Go ahead. There you go, see? It's moving it up.
And you said it's supposed to be very soft, right?
Very smooth.
Very smooth.
That's okay. We'll stop it and we use the spoon again. We're getting there. Once we get all, you see how there's a lot more of the super silky texture from the bottom.
Right.
We're just gonna kind of churn it to the top here, so we get more of this chopped up. It's still pretty chunky, so I'm gonna add the rest of this.
There we go.
Okay, I'm gonna try it again.
Of course.
Line that up there. Yeah. It's looking good. Yep, a little bit more. Yep. Might want to stop. We'll do a little scraping and see. There. That's getting pretty good. Yeah, go ahead and scrape around a little bit. Yeah. See how that texture is so much more smooth?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
So cool.
So it's like the first round you're working on the texture,
Oh, yeah.
right?
So cool.
So it's like the first round you're working on the texture, right? And the consistency of it.
Right.
And then you're working on the seasoning with
Gotcha.
all the cumin and the salt and cayenne pepper, whatever we're putting in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is looking really good, huh?
Oh yeah.
Now it looks like a spread, right? Which is what hummus is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a spread you can put on, you know, crackers or bread, or you dip, you know, vegetables in. So, okay, why don't you give that one more good round, and then we'll work on seasoning.
Okay.
You gotta get the sides in there. Nope, 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 nope. There you go. There, it's got a lock, or it'll come flying out at you.
Right from the camera, I'll practice mine and see.
Let's just probably stop there and see if you want to stop it. Yeah, because we'll do a little bit more when we put some of the seasonings in.
Right.
So
Okay. Is it okay?
that looks great. Yeah,
let's
look at that
go.
consistency. So yeah, so it's much smoother. It's nice and thick. The water is getting incorporated in there, and you want a consistent, you know, kind of.
Maybe
Yeah.
Let me
great.
taste it and see how.
You want to taste it now? Yeah, you got a tasting spoon? Yeah. And that's before we put any of the salt or any of the ingredients in there for flavor. So if you want to taste it, it's going to just taste like beans and sesame seeds.
It's okay.
It's okay, right? It's like, yeah, it's kind of bland though, right? Okay, so we got to doctor it up. So we got to make this is where you get to customize it a little bit. Because if somebody really likes saltier, or maybe they're avoiding salt in their life because they have to, or if you don't like the cayenne pepper, or you like a lot of it, you could add a lot of it. So now we're going to have fun with the doctoring it up. So I like to start with the cumin, because that doesn't have a lot of spice to it, but it has a fuller flavor, and it goes really well with the sesame seeds. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some of that in. Usually these are about, you know, a tablespoon each, but
Is it supposed to be hot, like?
not cumin, but the cayenne pepper is.
Like, I mean, the whole, hummus. Is it very hot food, or just like?
I think it's going to depend on the chef.
Okay.
We used to joke that it's like, is the chef angry today? If it's angry chef, then it's a hot hummus. Yeah. So let's go ahead and.
Like, I like spicy food, so not
Well-
too spicy though.
Well, and that's what we do, right? So the nice thing about cooking at home is you can control
Right,
your
yeah.
ingredients, right? So start with a little bit of cayenne pepper, taste it, and then if you want spicier, then you add more.
Right.
So you get to make it. Yeah.
Can you kind of like if you maybe go to the restaurant, or
Yeah.
where would you find this hummus food?
You'd find it at a restaurant, typically on an appetizer menu. So you'd get like a hummus plate, and it would be a bowl of hummus in the middle, and you have like maybe flatbread around the sides and vegetables, things you can dip into the hummus, right? That's typically how, at least here, you would see it. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because I've been almost like some years now, and I've been seen any this food before. So I was like,
Yeah.
So when I was like, hey Heather, what food are you going to prepare? You're like, hummus.
Yeah.
So I was like, I haven't seen or heard this name before. Like, literally,
Right.
I don't even know what it is. So now to search it up and see how things, Yeah.
The nice thing about hummus, if you're like in college, right, as a college student, and you're living on a budget, right, or anybody living on a budget, is beans are
Yeah,
cheap
always living
food.
on
Beans
a
are cheap food. So if once these are all shelf stable, right? So you can use these spices for lots of different things. Salt, pepper, the cumin. You're going to have to invest a little bit there, right? But you're not using very much every time. So then you're just buying beans and tahini. And it's a great protein, high fiber food. And you can put it with just about anything, right? So that's the great thing about it. So, okay. So we added the cumin. So now let's add, I typically add the paprika more at the end. Let's go ahead and put some salt in there.
Okay.
And I kind of, I kind of go by estimate. So I put, a couple tablespoons in there, okay?
Okay.
All right, so now let's go ahead. We could probably put a little bit of cayenne pepper in to start with. And that's cayenne pepper. That's going to be really spicy, but we'll start a little bit.
And it's supposed to be like, oh, I think,
Yeah.
I was like, is it, no, I think you answered that question. I was like, how
Yeah.
soft should this food be, right?
Sure.
And I think,
It's up to you. Yeah.
So it depends on the chef.
Depends on the chef and depends on the person eating it, making it, right? So yeah, do you want to put the lid back on and let's incorporate that in there. And then we'll have a real taste test with all the good stuff in there. Yeah. Oh, it's not on there yet. Nope, nope.
Ooh.
Yeah, you gotta lock it. Yeah. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. Let's try it.
So how often do you cook this in your house?
Every couple weeks. I make it every couple weeks. Yeah. Let's try it and see how it's doing. Oh, it's getting incorporated a little bit.
Right.
All right. Do you have a tasting spoon? You're gonna try another. It's a lot of tasting to try this out. So you taste it
Do you
and
want
see.
to try and see?
No, not quite yet. You try it first. So
You sure?
yeah, I think it's gonna need more. So what do you think? What does it need more of?
I think the salt is fine.
Salt is fine.
It's
Okay.
perfectly fine.
How about the lemon?
Let me try one.
Yeah. Do you taste any lemon?
By the time I realize this food is gone.
Then it was well made.
Well, I will add a little bit like lemon. in
Lemon,
it.
a little bit more because we only did the half on purpose, right?
Yeah,
Just
I think I'll
to
probably
try.
add more, but I'm enjoying the flavor so far.
How about the heat? Like the cayenne pepper, the heat. Like, do you want more heat or?
Yeah, I'll probably want it to be hot a little bit.
Yeah,
you know.
okay.
So I don't know. That's to me, you know.
Yeah, that's okay. Then we'll put more in. So then why don't you pour that little bit of lemon left? Put that in. Okay. Go ahead and just dump it in. Yeah, that's fine. It'll be good. Yeah. It's just it.
Okay.
And then here, let's put the little bit more pepper in. Okay. So we'll put a little more cayenne pepper in.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's try that. Make sure to get it locked there. There you go. Didn't say stop yet. There you go. Okay. All right.
Let's try it.
Yeah, go ahead. You gotta. Always taste your food whenever you're making something before you give it to anybody else.
Good.
Yeah, like that. Okay.
It's
That's
good.
it. All right. Well, then let's get a bowl, and we'll put this in, and then I'll put the paprika on top and show you how to present it. To a table. So then the way I usually finish this before I serve it is to put, to sprinkle on top like this, the paprika, which is this one, and it has a deeper red color compared to the cayenne pepper. And then that way too, if it's already spicy, the level that you want, you don't want to dress it with cayenne pepper so much on top, but that paprika will give you that color on top. So.
Thank you guys for joining us here, and I'm so thankful for having you here one more time. So I just like the food. The hummus was so good, and now I have a bunch of hummus and some stuff over here, and hopefully I finish this food before the interview ends.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. So Heather, your path to leadership and education is so inspiring. Could you take us back to a moment where you feel that education is going to be your life work?
People ask me this question, and I'm not sure I can pinpoint one exact moment. I do feel like I was blessed enough to have a family who valued education. And so I think I didn't always know exactly where I was going to end up in education, but right now, I'm a dean, but I've been lots of other things along the way. And so I think it was more about once I got my toe into it, I got hooked and I just wanted to stay. And so being able to work with students and really seeing the impact an education makes in their lives and being a part of that has just been what has kept me going.
So you are a dean at Blackwell College. Can you let us know who a dean is to students?
Yeah, so a dean is really a leader of a division, right, of a very large team at a college. And so there's deans that do different things at the college, at any college. There's deans that oversee a lot of the faculty, and so the classes that you would take as a student, they all would report up to a particular dean who is like a subject matter expert in maybe health sciences or liberal arts studies, like the math and science general kinds of things. My area is dean over like student services areas. And so all of the support services that a college or university would offer, right? There's several of us who are deans over certain areas, like maybe advising and, that kind of thing. So the interactions that you students have outside of the classroom, right? Whether you're interacting with career services or disability resources, financial aid, those offices all report and roll up to a dean as well. And so that's more of my role.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, thank you for highlighting or pinpointing the role of deans.
Yeah.
So people ask about this question. People are so fed up, like students are so kind of like fed up with the things that is going on in this world, education, and sometimes they are so frustrated about going through their classes or things in life, like to be precise, school.
Yeah.
So you having this, all the problems and have fought through to this point. Is there any doubt or thing that shaped you to become who you are that you think the youth should know?
I think once students, at least in the traditional age, so the 18 to 22-year-olds, right? If you're just coming right out of sort of the high school realm, they don't always know what they want to do, right? And so the rest of life looks like a lot, looks like a really long road, and they also don't always know what they're good at. It could be they haven't found out yet what they're good at, and I think that's what part of the college experience is to really find out, what am I good at? How can I monetize that? How can I make that my life's work? And so I do think that finding that out for yourself, because that's different for everybody, is really critical to do. And really understanding what those skills are for yourself, because then we can figure out, okay, we can match jobs and we can match pathways to a career as long as we know what you're good at. But it's incredibly frustrating for someone to work and try to work in an industry that really doesn't match up with their skills, right? That's a very frustrating life to live. And so you want to find the things that you're good at and then figure out, how can I make a career out of that?
And what do you think, students should somehow start from college and probably progress to university level? Is it, or why should students somehow start from college to university, or can we just maybe go straight to university and start a career path? What should be the link here?
Well, and also it doesn't always have to be college, right? So there's a variety of pathways. Once a student hits adulthood, a person hits adulthood, maybe it's an apprenticeship, maybe it is college, maybe it's a university level college, or a study. It just depends on who that person is and what kind of resources they have. So, but if someone is really not certain about what they're doing, sometimes it's good to spend some time at like a community college where, the tuition is a little bit lower here in the US for that, and figure some things out about yourself. And then when you do get to that university level, you know a lot more about yourself after a couple years. and it probably makes the value of that university experience better.
So, and you've worked, with students for, several years, right? So, what are some habits or mindsets that set apart students who really thrive in both success and life?
Sure. I think being focused on a goal and knowing that goals can always change. So the goal you have today might be different than a goal that you have for yourself 2 years from now. But I think staying focused on whatever that is a critical piece, because when the moments get tough or the exam grades aren't what you want or something is a speed bump along the way, if you know you're focused on your goal, whatever that is for you, then it's going to help you get past that speed bump, right? You're going to stay, you can see that horizon line. I'm still going for this. It was a little bit of a speed bump, but I'm still on the right path for what I want to do. And so I really do think, like a vision board or something like that, that really, if you can have that up, a visual somewhere in your life, your car, your apartment or something, like, this is where I'm headed, right? And it's just a little reminder to yourself, like, hey, I'm still doing okay. I think that tends to help people a lot.
It's all about the goals, right?
Yes.
So, how would you encourage a student who, she felt, the grades is declining, she can't make it up? What sort of encouragement can you encourage that student?
Well, I would want to look a little bit about why the grades are the way they are and have a conversation with the student. I've had plenty of those kinds of conversations. Sometimes it really does come back to the goal needs to change. Maybe the classes they're taking really aren't their best fit. There's always going to be programs where there's kind of make it or break it courses. Like for nursing, it's anatomy and physiology, right? It's biochemistry for, someone going into med school, right? So there's always these courses that are like, determining courses on your path. And I think that's okay. If it's not for you, then we just need to figure out what's a new goal, what's a new focus, what are you good at? I often look back at transcripts for students and look at where the A's are. Right? If I have 3 years of a transcript, where did you get A's? Oh, you got it in English and philosophy. You didn't get it in science, Maybe there's a conversation there about, again, coming back to your skill sets and how can you monetize that into a career. So that's a lot of times it's kind of like a forensic analysis almost, looking through and going, you're struggling because maybe this isn't the best topic, the best area.
I got it. And oh my gosh, MP, I did anatomy and physiology, and that nearly had, collapsed my dream for going to nursing school. It was so crazy.
It's a tough class.
It is really tough.
It is.
Jesus Christ.
But that's good though, because when you found out that you could do it, right, then it gave you the confidence to keep going, right? If you could pass that, then you're on the right track to go forward. I think that's critical for you. Yeah.
So, and I think those are all good strategies. It's like, looking through students' grades and, figuring what they like, and I think one thing I like about college is like, it's, gives us, the, what's it called? It opens up a lot of things to us, so that, and it's, kind of like very tiny, colleges are not like bigger as universities.
Right.
And sometimes we, spend time with, you guys, the things, our teachers and stuff. So those are the things that really shape us very well. And some professors are so very well, very good enough to like whatever thing that you need, just talk to them and they can figure things out for you, And I think those are all strategies that you shared. So I think, to every student who thinks, she's, the setback is too high and that she can, get rid of, the thing that she's, she's keeping it up, just talk to your advisor. I think that should be, the best way, to figure some, such obstacle, because as she said, it wasn't easy for everybody, right? And we are not the first person to set records, right? There is nothing new under the sun, right? So I think maybe like just talk to advisors and we should be all good.
Yeah.
So what do you see as the biggest barriers preventing students from achieving their dreams, and how can they overcome them?
I think it's going to depend on where, in the U.S., I think a big barrier, if we're talking education, is certainly the cost. I think that other places, other countries, that is maybe less of a barrier. just depends on where. But I do see that as being a pretty big barrier, and trying to navigate through the higher ed system within the United States can be a little tricky, trying to understand the cost and how much it really is to go to school. So there's an investment there, right? You're investing in yourself, and it's not just money, it's also time, because going to school is incredibly time consuming. And so when you're giving your time to that pursuit, you're not giving your time to other things. And so you have to decide you want that trade-off. So I think for a barrier could be also if you're having to work in order to live and you can't quite pay for the college, that's a lot of times people get stuck in that cycle. They never go then because of those two barriers. So I think those are two big ones that I definitely see students struggle with. And we have to strategize around that. Like, can we find some grants or scholarships? Can you attend part-time? Can we at least keep moving forward somehow, so you're not losing time?
And, sometimes financial aid doesn't even go through, and sometimes it
Right.
becomes so frustrated to people.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And you said you have like scholarships, like outside scholarship aside financial, aside FAFSA and things that can help students in school.
Yeah, and every college or university is going to be different, right? So there's private schools that have different scholarships. There's state schools that have state aid. So it really just depends on where you end up going, at least within the U.S. system.
All right. So if you could speak directly to young people listening, to our podcast today, doubting about things in life, success, things about school, what would be the message you want to give to such students?
I think I would definitely say to invest in yourself and bet on yourself. Especially if you're in that traditional age group yet, you haven't started family, if you are freer to go travel the world, right, and leave your home from your childhood. I think it's time to bet on yourself and try. And I think it's getting through kind of that. There's a mental barrier sometimes. Oh, I can't do that. It's too hard, or that's too big, or 7,000 miles travel to school is too far, right? Try betting on yourself and give it a try, and not letting that fear of change get in your way. I think that's the biggest message: is bet on yourself.
And I think, oh my God, that's so inspiring. And it's like people. I feel like people do not believe in themselves,
Right.
and the things that they can do, and sometimes it's like, condoning the future. They think, oh my gosh, I'm not going to do well or excel.
Right.
And I think like what you said, as you said, betting on yourself. Oh my God, that seems a powerful tool for every student.
Right.
And, we are so grateful to hearing this, of words to students. Right? I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
So for every student listening to this piece of advice, those are the things that we needed, right? As youth, we are really struggling about academics, success, and everything. And as I said, there is nothing new under the sun. Those are the strategies that we can really adapt into it, like betting on yourself. Strategizing your goals, speaking to advisors, and just because you don't want to fail, and that is not what these things and advisors are expecting from students. So I feel like this piece of advice that we have had today, we should just carry on to whatever place that we are going, and I think it is going to help us and cultivate and push us to whatever dream that we are really hoping to be. Thank you so much for your wisdom that you've bestowed on us today. I think it's a great piece of advice, and I was so thankful for the food.
You're most welcome.
So
I enjoy sharing it. So
thank you so much, and hopefully to see you one more time.
absolutely. Thank you very much. And it was great being with you today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.